So have you ever felt just, completely torn between two priorities? I mean, really pulled in two different directions at once.
Oh, absolutely. Like that classic tension between, say, spiritual devotion and then the very real need to be materially secure.
Exactly. And the texts we're looking at today are pretty aggressive on this point. They argue that the Venn diagram for those two things just doesn't overlap.
It's a very hard line in the sand. We're digging into a set of sources all centered on Matthew chapter 6, plus a reflection from January 2026 called One Master, the divine priority of faith.
And the mission for this deep dive is really to unpack what an undivided heart actually looks like, according to these texts.
Right, and it starts with this idea about, the architecture of devotion, specifically fasting.
But when you get into it, it's not really about the fasting itself. The text analyzes it more like performance art. He talks about people who disfigure their faces just to look gloomy.
Yeah, to signal their piety to everyone else. It's sort of the ancient equivalent of posting a sad selfie to farm sympathy. The source actually calls them actors hypocrites.
And the logic it uses to dismantle that is, it's basically brutal economics. It's saying that if you perform for an audience, their attention is your payment.
That's it.
Transaction closed. You've cashed out.
Which means the spiritual account is empty. And that's why the counter instruction is so specific. It says, anoint your head and wash your face.
Which is actually kind of subversive, isn't it? It's saying, look fresh, look normal. Essentially, mask your piety so completely that no one even knows you're doing it.
Because then the only witness is the Father who sees in secret. It just strips away that whole social credit score and leaves you with the actual relationship.
It's so interesting how the text starts with what we show others with our faces, but then it pivots immediately to how we see the world. It calls the eye the lamp of the body.
And this is a huge metaphor for perspective. The argument is that if your eye is healthy, you're full of light. But if your eye is bad,
the darkness is total. And that phrase, bad eye, it can sound a little abstract, but it's really about your internal lens, isn't it?
Exactly. If your lens is cracked by greed or, envy, then every single thing you look at, even good things, gets distorted.
It frames everything as something to be possessed instead of a gift to be enjoyed.
Right. And if your internal focus is that far off, you are literally navigating your life in the dark.
Which, of course, leads directly to the investment advice part of the text. Don't store up treasures on earth.
Because, simply put, earthly assets are risky. The source lists moths, rust, and thieves.
Sure, and we might worry less about moths eating our 401ks today, but the core principle of, depreciation and theft.
It's the exact same anxiety. It's all unstable.
And that instability matters because of that famous rule. Where your treasure is, there your heart will be also.
And we tend to think we put our money toward what we already love, but the text argues the opposite. It says our love, our emotional energy, actually follows our money.
Our heart gets tied up in whatever we're trying to protect.
And that leads right to the climax. You cannot serve God and money.
Okay, but hold on a second. That one master reflection, it brings up figures like Abraham, Isaac, and Job. I mean, these guys were incredibly wealthy. Is the text just ignoring that?
That's a fair question, and the reflection argues it all comes down to the order of operations.
The order of operations.
Yeah. Abraham wasn't considered righteous because he was wealthy. The text says the righteous were the ones who happened to receive blessings.
So the argument is their godliness came from their faith first, not from their net worth.
Right. They possessed wealth, but the wealth didn't possess them. The warning here is that money makes a terrible master.
The moment the resource starts dictating your values, you've lost the plot.
You've completely lost it.
So you can have the treasure as long as you aren't serving it.
That's the singularity of devotion the source is talking about, that undivided heart.
It definitely forces you to check your own motivations.
It does. And that brings us to the final question in the source material, which is, honestly, a bit uncomfortable to answer.
Let's hear it.
What treasure is quietly shaping your decisions or emotions right now?